Thank you, Harish. So today we are going to talk about fat burners. So basically, as Harish has already given my introduction, so I think I don't no need to repeat. So I have done my health transformation, I think around 12 years back, and that's how I got interested to this industry, and then I started reading. And today I'm going to share a very simple concept about fat burning, right? And a lot of you have given a message, right? New Year party, this happened, that happened. So a lot of things. Let me quickly. Okay, my voice is feeble. I think everybody can look at that. Okay, all right. So maybe you have to check yours. All right. So let me quickly share my screen and then we'll go ahead. Okay. My screen is visible, right? Can anybody show thumbs up? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Harish. Yes, Shankar, please.
All right. So today I'm going to talk about fat burners, right? So how many of you really need fat burners? I mean, chahiye chahiye. I mean, okay, I'll speak in Hindi and English mix, but most of the time I'll try to speak in English, but हिंदी आ जाती है दिल से अचानक कोई एग्जांपल देना हो तो कितने लोगों को फैट बर्नर्स रियली में चाहिए आई मीन दे आर रियली लुकिंग फॉर द फैट बर्नर्स ये शरीर का फैट निकल जाए यार सो दैट ऑप्शन नंबर व्हिच आई एम सजेस्टिंग इज दिस वन okay how many of you are very interested in doing this it's a so simple thing get the two chairs put the fire and people who are living in north india उनको मजा आने वाला है क्योंकि उनको तो और भी ठंडी है राइट बट ये थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है नो क्योंकि दो कुर्सी के बीच में ऐसे लेटना इट्स रियली डिफिकल्ट एक और ऑप्शन है मेरे पास वो ये वाला है राइट ये थोड़ा सा इजी है इसमें थोड़ा सा नीचे से आपको तेल लगा के आग लगानी पड़ेगी राइट बट आप चूज कर लो अभी मेरा सेशन खत्म होने वाला है और यही दो ऑप्शन है मेरे पास और दिस इज ट्राइड टेस्टेड एंड पीपल हैव गॉट लॉट ऑफ रिजल्ट्स बिकॉज ऑफ दिस राइट how many of really wants to go ahead and this correct so what these two pictures are these two pictures are actually gives the mindset of the people they look as a fat right they only look at the fat as a how can I burn this how can I do this right a lot of things people do so the number most of the people go into the calorie deficit game you know व्हाट दे से कि चलो आज मैंने दो पराठे आलू के खा लिए जाके जिम में सब 15 मिनट और दौड़ लूंगा राइट 10 मिनट और दौड़ लूंगा राइट अब ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है कितने लोग एग्री करते हैं आई मीन हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर रियली एग्री दैट फैट लॉस इज कैलोरी डिफिशिट गेन yes or no can you put in the chat right so I can see quickly how many of you are saying yes no okay oh what happened people okay somebody saying yes yes no yes no 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 why yes no confidence if this is a right concept everybody should be saying yes correct I'll go back a little bit 5-10 minutes before the session so you would have seen the messages from the people कि मैं एक हफ्ता 10 दिन बाहर रहा फिर भी मेरा वेट नहीं बढ़ा और मैंने एंजॉय किया राइट एंजॉय मतलब मैंने खाना भी खाया इधर उधर का खाना भी खाया फिर भी मेरा वेट नहीं बढ़ा तो कैलोरी तो अंदर गई लेकिन वेट क्यों नहीं बढ़ा क्योंकि तो वेट बढ़ना चाहिए अगर वो बढ़ नहीं हुई कैलोरी तो फैट लॉस इज नॉट a calorie deficit game right it is not something zero or one right because I am not the champion I am not the one who eats more calories and goes and burns out right it's my body takes over correct how my body works on this input and output and fat burning and muscle burning and glucose burning it is not exactly it is in my control I can just fat burn glucose burn no so my body is a much more intelligent and it will do wonders if I give a right environment correct so right environment is the important thing so let's go and understand how our body works in terms of energy so how do I get energy right there are sugar which is let's take as a battery as a sugar battery then I have a fat battery correct carb and sugar gives you 4 calories of energy and fat gives you 9 calories of energy from 1 gram right So fat is not a bad, actually a lot of potential energy inside you, because you've been eating and not burning. That's how it's getting stored, right? So number one thing is, don't my suggestion, my learning for over the so many years is to stop taking fat as a bad thing and stop हेटरिंग जिसे बोलते हैं ना, घृणा करना कि अरे फैट इतना खराब है। नहीं, आपको ऐसे नहीं करना, राइट? फैट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी, इट्स अ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विच वी हैव टू यूज. Now you have to understand how my body uses these two source of energy, करेक्ट? द फैट एंड द शुगर. ये दो सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी हमारी बॉडी कैसे यूज करती है? हम शुगर बैटरी पे चल रहे हैं, तो जब हम खाना खाते हैं तब हमारी फैट की बैटरी बंद रहती है, इट्स नॉट बीइंग यूज्ड, राइट? सो इट्स लाइक दिस, एट ए गिवन टाइम, अगर आपको किसी को घर बैठे पैसा मिलता रहे और कुछ भी काम ना करे, तो वो कुछ काम करेगा? वो कुछ भी काम नहीं करेगा, correct? That's how it's a sugar. You keep giving sugar and carbohydrate regularly, your fat will not burn, fat battery will not be used, but you start losing your weight when your fat battery is operated. So that's why that's the place you're not sure. You means your body is not using this sugar battery. So body uses either sugar battery or fat battery. When body is using sugar battery, it will not use fat battery. At a time, only one battery will work. It's not that both of the batteries will work, right? So understand very simple concept. Sugar battery, fat battery, at a time, only one battery will work. Our focus is allow my body to use more and more and more often the fat battery. Now, how that is possible is stop sugar. Number one is stop sugar, correct? Now, two things. The only two environment which I can give my body to have, this fat battery is being used. Number one is high thermic food effect. You know that, right? I'm sure a lot of people, what is a high thermic effect. The food which we eat, it needs energy to digest, right? उसको digestion के लिए भी energy चाहिए, correct? तो हर फूड का अपना एक हाई थर्मिक इफेक्ट होता है. दूसरा है हार्मोन बैलेंसिंग. अगर आपके हार्मोन्स बैलेंस नहीं है, नो मैटर व्हाट आप करें, आपका फैट बर्न नहीं होगा, करेक्ट? तो डोंट ट्राई एंड गो एंड एक्सरसाइज फॉर 2 hours. डोंट ट्राई एंड डू फास्टिंग फॉर 18 hours, 16 hours. So lot of people go into that mechanism, correct? लेकिन आपको रियल में अगर अपना फैट बर्न करना है, ऑटोमेटिकली अपने बॉडी को ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट देना है कि द बॉडी स्टार्ट बर्निंग फैट, ऑटोमेटिकली स्टार्ट using the fat battery. We need to focus on these two things, right? High thermic effect the food and the hormone balancing. What is a high thermic effect? जो भी इसको टीएफ बोलते हैं, जो हमारे फूड का मैंने बताया कि जो भी हम फूड खाते हैं उसको डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए एनर्जी चाहिए. तो हम मैक्सिमम जो सबसे ज्यादा एनर्जी, अब इस पे बात कर लेते हैं ना, व्हाट इज हाई थर्मिक इफेक्ट. हाई थर्मिक इफेक्ट जो होता है हमारा प्रोटीन, कार्बोहाइड्रेट एंड फैट. दीज आर द 3 मेजर मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट वी ईट, एंड इन्हीं को डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए हमें बॉडी को डाइजेशन के लिए एनर्जी चाहिए. तो अगर हम प्रोटीन खाते हैं, सेम अमाउंट ऑफ कैलोरीज हम ले रहे हैं, सेम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जीज हम ले रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर वो कैलोरीज प्रोटीन से आ रही हैं तो 20 to 30% बॉडी यूज करती है एनर्जी उसी प्रोटीन को डाइजेस्ट करने में. लेकिन अगर कार्बोहाइड्रेट खा रहे हैं तो मैक्सिमम 5 to 15, और फैट के लिए सबसे कम कैलोरीज. So same amount of energy we have eaten, but the actual end calories is how much? How much is energy I'm gonna store in my body? So that's why हम क्या बोलते हैं कि फैट बर्न करने के लिए you increase your protein intake, है ना? प्रोटीन का इंटेक हमें बढ़ाना है. क्यों? बिकॉज प्रोटीन डाइजेस्ट, एक नंबर वन एट्रीब्यूट, वन प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द प्रोटीन कि इसका थर्मिक इफेक्ट बहुत ज्यादा होता है. थर्मिक इफेक्ट का मतलब इसको ज्यादा कैलोरीज, ज्यादा एनर्जी चाहिए डाइजेस्ट करने के. तो उसके बाद हमारा कार्ब. कौन सा कार्ब? ये रिफाइंड कार्ब की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं यहां पर. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्रेन्स विच हैज ए हाई फाइबर कार्ब, राइट? उसके बाद फिर एंड देन फैट. फैट विल गिव यू मोर एनर्जी एंड इट विल नॉट डाइजेस्ट. सो इसीलिए फैट को कम खाना. इवन द हाई फैट जो हमारा हेल्दी फैट्स होता है उसको भी कम खाना, राइट? तो ये हो गया एक कॉन्सेप्ट, टीएफ, thermic effect. Now we'll move to the hormone balancing, which is a very very important on hormone balancing. हमारे शरीर में कुछ हार्मोन्स हैं, we know that, right? So there are two categories of hormone. One are fat storing hormone, and second group is fat burning hormones. The point is these two hormones category of hormones cannot work together. If one is working, the another one has to stop. If the another one is working, the first one has to stop. So if your fat storing hormone is body's natural phenomena is store the fat whenever it is available, store the calorie, because our body is designed like, see, today we get food every 2 hours, every 3 hours, right? But ages, right? The stone ages, a human used to eat like once in 2 days, right? Whenever they, I mean, even the 20 years back, we used to eat only 2 times a day, right? So body energy is to store, body's basic concept is to store the energy. So whenever the fat storing hormones are active, burning will not happen. I'll give you another simple example, very simple analogy. आपके घर में सफाई हो रही है, आप घर में क्लीनिंग कर रहे हो, mopping and something. Suddenly somebody comes at a door and there is a delivery of groceries. What will you do? You'll stop the mopping and cleaning, collect the groceries, keep it in the pocket, and then do cleaning, right? So simple analogy, whenever there's a fat storing hormones are there, fat burning will not happen. And for fat burning hormones, you need to make sure that the fat storing hormones are not active. So it works as a switch, right? Whenever there's a fat storing hormone, which is a very now number one fat storing hormone is insulin. Whenever there's an insulin present in the body, burning will not happen. That's why they say when you are eating, you need to make sure that high sugar items are not there. Even the sugar is not there, because the more sugar, more insulin, your fat storing. You're not allowing, your fat burning. Now, if you look at the glucagon and growth hormone, right? It's a fat burning hormone. Now, the growth hormone is very, very high during in children and teenagers. You've seen that teenagers eat so much food, but they don't store fat, as much compared to the adults. Why? Because the growth hormones are very active. It's burning. So that's why your thyroid, right? T3, T4, all these are your fat burning hormones. So what should I do? I need to make sure storing hormone is down, burning is up. That environment I have to give. So what are these hormones? Insulin, and then all these are fat burning hormones. Now let's move to the next one quickly. Insulin hormone is the number one fat storing hormone, and 90%, I mean, nowadays stress is also into the picture, but if you look at 80-70%, people are, victim of this. Why? Because the more they eat, the more sugary food they eat, the more refined carbohydrate they eat, there is a high sugar, and high sugar will demand high insulin. And as long as insulin is there in the body, it will not allow fat burning hormones to be active. Even if look at the different bread, apple juice, even if you eat simple apple and carrot versus the juices, your insulin hormone is high. Why? Because the sugar is high, blood sugar is high. Even sometimes people take, I eat only protein, it's a very high protein. Even if you take excess amount of protein, which comes from the only chicken or only, red meat or whatever, that also spikes your insulin hormone. So insulin hormone is the number one hormone which will stop your fat burning environment in your body. So, and how does it happen? Sugar, refined carb. I think almost nowadays everybody is aware about the insulin resistance and whatnot. So, what should we eat? Right? Very simple. What should we eat? I think all of us are, people who are on our program, they know that 25% formula, right? Raw veg salad. And if you are having some specific condition like diabetes and something, and you are like very high sugar, you have to increase the raw salad. You know why? The good thermic effect, high fiber, high dense nutrient. Please do not allow, mixing fruits in it, because then you have to, some fruits are possible, some fruits are not possible. So very simple rule, don't mix fruits, right? And then obviously protein, because of the high thermic. And this will make sure that your insulin doesn't go up. So these are the things we should eat in a vegetables, right? Tomato, beans, green leafy vegetable, gourds, right? Then you come to the fruit section, citrus fruit, berries, apple, guava, plum. And then you come into herbs, right? The cinnamon, garlic, turmeric, fenugreek, and these are all are detox. If you are part of our program, you're going through that. There are detox section, right? We read the detox. These are all comes through detoxing. So detoxifying as well as giving the environment, making body alkaline and Inalkaline fat also goes into a burning mode. Same thing with the almonds, walnuts, and apple cider vinegar. Green tea, green chili, right? Green chili also, some people eat it very passionately, but some people not. So it's okay, avoid it. But remaining thing you can follow. So these are the few things which you can follow, and make sure that you have your coach discuss with him. Okay, what this picture tells you, I really like to take 1 minute here and ask everybody who is looking at this what this picture tells you. Let's see what is the chat. Okay. Three idiots. Okay. Happy. Okay. Fat people are happy. They need wellness coach. Okay. 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 Three. You know what these people tell you? I'll tell you. These people are telling you the belly is illegal construction outside your own plant, right? So I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. Correct? Anything which is so you have your own plot, right? You have your own body. Anything which is going, I mean, see, I was 14 years before, 14 years before, I was like 105, right? And if time permit, I should have shown you my picture. So I was also one of these guys, right? But I understood, correct? And then, so make sure that, and Manish was talking about resolution or something, right? So a lot of people talk about resolution and things like that. But you need to understand, see, the earlier and the better. And you cannot win this war alone. अगर आपके बस में होता तो आप कर ही चुके होते, right? You need some guidance on this. You need somebody to handhold and take you through. So give your life to the, I mean, some of you are already in the program. Believe on the coaches and go through the path. And if you are new first time here, do that. Because उसने कहा था ना मनीष ने कि डिमोटिवेट हो जाते थे यूट्यूब से, बहुत कुछ किया, कुछ किया, रिजल्ट नहीं मिला, राइट? एंड दैट्स अ स्टोरी ऑफ लॉट ऑफ पीपल. So with this, I'm done, and back to my awesome host, Harish.